Halaman 22. Dua 3 menit kita bermeditasi.
Amitofo, good evening. How survival. How many people survive? I'm going to read the reading transmission for a few pages and then read it. Okay, first here. Long, I'm going to just read it. Root text, long on the root text.
Jadi Rinpoche akan membacakan transmisi untuk kita dari teks akarnya.
Jagragadi Mahayana Sutra Tantra Shastra Bhogi de Tabaju Junami Tenju Sanji da Chansu Batanjala Chansa Lo Sanji Choso Kamda Chanju da Yundi Sanji Chile Tamate Tenju Kunjulini Dodana Doji Yini Ne Dun de Dako Deta Rangse Niji Jende Korimji Sonji Jebundu Neshi Nini Nesubrijati Chu Ni Shini Ludi Jochu Yewale Sanji Le Chu Le Popi Cho Cho Le Nimu Yishi Kamdodara Yishi Dedu Chanji Chodu So Yun Sinji Kundu Jichu Nanda De Kanji Toma Uda Meshi Sanji Nina Sanji Nira Nam Sanji Sanji Nini Nam Zo Mato Tochi Jime Tabilam Dega Chizirati Doji Chono Dungu Yu Junze Ji Nasu Tati Ji Kuru Tesu Tsipa Jinze Tela Du Doma Jinji Luji Tuji Ji Tomi Bachino Zida Nubade Tuni Dembi Sanji Ni Tonda Uda Mebayi Ranshi Ji Ranshi Ichirin Duma Ji Chui Shiva Juji Kuji Ji Luji Tuji Chaji Suzu Rangi Toji Ji Ji Tomi Bade Namsu Toji Chin Lamdu Chin Tuzi Vanube Jiduji Dungo Nyo Ponchi Ro Tambo Sunji Ro Chima Sunji Shindu Yin Kanshi Meme Yume Mai Yume Le Shindu Atapa Mene Yensi Taja Suzu Rangi Ri Shiwa Jime Ishi Wasenga De Mipa Kula Chabata Danga Rabi Nombra Jamze Tanju Nima De Lan Du Sami Nime Tome Ba Tansa Nimbu Choni Ji Kanshi Kangi Chajawa Deni Tseni Je De Chu Chaja Nini Gobata Lamji De Ma Tagi Do Kurimji Je De Da Nini Sum Sum Ri She Sha Yun De Sum Sum Ji Ri Sha Tami Chita Jumi Je Pabe Chenji Sami Ni Jini Nime Tome De Tanso Sum Ni Shi No Sende Rashi Osa We Na Sunyamo Mesi Bes Kanda Jogu Dame Taji Yanda Tone Tanje La Zobe Sanje Ji Shu Sibe Tipe Mebi Lunga Simje Nanda Tai Yuji Ishi Singa Telan Du Jita Jinya Nangini Ishi Siba Tabi Je Ludi Chimi Tabi Jo Lame Yun De Tadi Ni Roshi Yuji Li Tochi Jita Jinyi Jita Ni De Yang Ranshi Jini Yonda Chiri Nyomo Dune Se Chiro Shijar Tatu Tobi Lo Tanji Chimbi Chuni Ni Simje Tanji La Yoga Tongche Jini Yoga Ni Teta Toba Kanyi Basu Ranshi Tonga Ni Chime Yingla Changita Tome Chite Tabayi Ishi Siba Tabi Na Sanje Ishi La Menche Paba Chime Toba Ni Luje Kunji Jabi No. Okay, now so everyone know what we are studying, right? What?
Semua orang tahu ya apa yang sedang kita pelajari, tahu nggak?
What we are studying?
Apa yang sedang kita pelajari? Coba disebutkan.
Uttaratantra Shastra. Say it. Uttaratantra Shastra.
Coba disebut.
Okay. Then Uttaratantra Shastra. Now Uttaratantra Shastra Uttaratantra Shastra. Okay. So Buddha first, Buddha began with his teachings, teaching Four Noble Truths, including from beginning. Buddha just taught to people simple one, people can understand. There is karma, comes law of cause and effect. You do good things, and then good things that brings happiness, and then good karma. Then things that actions and intention that brings sooner or later brings suffering, that is a bad karma. And then live a life peaceful and compassion and so on, general things, right? Then including Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. What are the Four Noble Truths? You know, right? Suffering and the cause of suffering, and then is path and cessation, right? And so Four Noble Truths, roughly just talk like that. Four Noble Truths, that is considered the first circle of Buddha's teachings. And that time, so generally the karma, about karma, and I think that's called, we put in two categories, is what do you call interpretive meaning or relative truth, right? Or definitive meaning or ultimate kind of the truth. So put two categories, and karma and all suffering, everything that Buddha taught is more like a definite interpretive meaning or relative truth. And there's then ultimate truth. Most part is from beginning. I think Buddha, one thing that most important thing taught is no self. No self. No self means meaning is self. Like we think we are, we grasp on these aggregates, or we grasp oneself as like some kind of a permanent, substantial entity. We sometimes we call also oneself as like a soul, atman, something not other than body or mind or some kind of a solid something. Whatever, so we are grasping the way our attitude, our belief that self is this mistaken. That kind of self is not existed actually. And from that mistaken kind of understanding, then we create the klesha, and the klesha creates karma, and then karma creates a rebirth. Like that. So it's that kind of self is not exist. Anyway, in short, there's something we hear very often, right? Buddha said no self. Something that from beginning Buddha taught about that. No self. Deepest thing from beginning Buddha taught is no self. As like the person, the way we are understanding ourselves is something that's not, the way we see is not truly existed that way. That doesn't mean no self, doesn't mean there's nothing. Second circle of Buddha's teachings, many different sutras Buddha taught, but one of the main is Prajna Paramita Sutra. In Prajna Paramita Sutra, then also taught about all the five aggregates. All is the way we are thinking, all this form, what the feeling, perception, and so on. This way we think like some kind of permanent, substantial, but it's not existed that way. The way we are almost like when we sleep, in the sleep dream. When we dream, right? When we dream, it's so real, right? so real. Until we wake up, we don't know it's not real. So real, everything is so real. As somebody said, everything that you see, you touch, and you're encountering is not truly the way you think is not truly like that way existed. We will think that person is talking like crazy. How can we? What do you mean? It doesn't make even sense. But when you wake up, and it's something is as a dream is not totally not existed, but something is not truly the way we dreamed, we visioned. The we experienced is not truly existed, something like that. Anyway, this is a huge thing. I mean, I only hear saying some more concept. I think trying to make some connection like that, but I don't expect we can understand in a few minutes about whole this thing. About no self and emptiness is a huge philosophical. I mean, it's a very deep concept, deep philosophical, Buddhist philosophical, deepest kind of a concept, right? Topic of so in second, Buddha said, not only person, no self has not truly existed, but everything, including all the five aggregates, everything, universe, whole, everything is not truly existed the way we see. Yeah. So that is called emptiness. In Heart Sutra, is read emptiness, right? Emptiness is not something that when we die, then become nothing. Not like that. Emptiness is in Heart Sutra says, form is emptiness, emptiness is form, like that. So, and so on. So at the same time, when we are seeing and experiencing everything, at the same time, not truly existed the way we see it, but something like that. So anyway, second time Buddha taught about emptiness. Emptiness, yeah. Is that giving up or finished?
No, I'm confused. I just say, oh, I'm confused.
Oh. That's okay. Confused is good. Confused is a sign of process. Started. If we haven't started, not even confused, right? We think we know. Okay. And then the third kind of a circle of Buddha's teachings more focused on. After that, Buddha having said no self and emptiness, kosanga, all that. Then Buddha said emptiness doesn't mean nothingness, but then especially Buddha's teachings focus on there is there is ultimate true nature of our mind, and that is a clear light mind. Clear light mind. There's a clear light mind. That enlightenment mind, enlightened mind, clear light, clear light mind. That is also called Buddha nature, right? Asanga Garbha. Talked about the Buddha nature. This the Buddha nature. Buddha nature, before Buddha didn't talk earlier because it's so deep, profound, and also if before Buddha taught Buddha nature, then people that can be maybe lead to misunderstanding with what self, Buddha. So in the end, Buddha taught about anyway, last circle of Buddha is the teachings is more about Buddha nature. Oh, have you seen the Vajra bell? Okay, Rasna. Wait, there's a rope in the Vajra. This is called Vajra, right? Some people has has like necklace, amulet, right? It's called amulet. Some people has a big one decoration put on the wall like this. And many times we use when doing some prayers, right? Vajra with bear. Yeah. Anyway, this Vajra. Vajra is a Sanskrit word, indestructible or indestructible. Yeah? Vajra. So this is represents something that cannot be destroyed, something that is what say primordial, something that is lasts kind of forever, yeah, indestructible. So this Vajra actually is represents especially our case here, Buddha nature. This is Buddha nature. Buddha nature. What is Buddha nature? Buddha nature is your nature, your nature. And Justine, right? How do you spell your name? Jasmine, sorry. And Jasmine's nature. Buddha nature, Jasmine nature. Jasmine's nature.
But
so,
sorry.
This is this Vajra is like Buddha nature. Buddha nature is this represents Buddha nature. Buddha nature is indestructible from beginning and the middle and the end. Beginning means when we are sentient being as an ordinary human being, our nature is there. Our true nature is there. And then when we practice Dharma, and then we become a Bodhisattva, then our nature is a little bit purified. Defilement is a little bit purified, but the nature itself is the same still. Nothing changed. And then when we achieve complete enlightenment, become a Buddha, still that nature is nothing changed. It's the same thing. Exactly the same thing. So, indestructible, Vajra nature, Buddha nature. That is what we are talking here is mainly the whole subject, main topic is Buddha nature, right? Okay, now we got Buddha nature, this Uttaratantra. Uttaratantra, okay, we start with what word? Root text is, what's root text? I bow down to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. His translator made this additional edit, this homage to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Yeah, translators homage to. So this is not original, that line is not original Maitreya Buddha's word, just translator's word, first one. Then if condensed the body, I think from there, and then original, the text starts there. Starts there. This first one. So anyway, what I'm saying is to go through this English is, I think you will think it's quite difficult to understand. Let me try to make it easy for you. First word there's Buddha Bodhisattva. First is Uttaratantra Shastra. I think we explained the meaning, right? Meaning with the title. And the secondly there's I homage to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And that is translated as homage to. So then after that it says briefly mentioned topic of the whole text. So topic of the whole text is what? 7 points. 7 Vajra points, right? Remember? Everyone remember? Can you say over? Buddha, Dharma, Asanga, enlightenment. Wow, very good. Okay, then okay. After that, it's mentioned. After that, I think one stanza that mentioned how that is Maitreya Buddha taught is not something that randomly he got a good idea and then wrote a book, not like that. Maitreya Buddha taught this according to his explanation, what Shakyamuni Buddha taught. Sutra. Each Vajra point is actually mentioned in different sutras. Shakyamuni Buddha taught already in different sutras. So it's all these 7 Vajra points doesn't come in one sutra. But that's source of these sutras, names mentioned, right? Not only names, but you can actually read all. If you have a time, you can find these sutras. In Tibetan, they call Ganjur, collection of Buddhist teachings, Tripitaka, right? You can find all these sutras. But that will take lots of time. So this then mention the source anyway, yeah. Then after that, it's one stanza is kind of points out this related. Why first is Buddha, then Dharma, then Asanga, then Buddha nature, then enlightenment, then quality, yeah, then activity, right? So why this? What to say? What do you say? Never mind. Now I'll focus. I should first I should learn English. Somebody teach me English. Oh yeah, the later one is so it's what is it? Never mind. I'm not going to try to remember that word anymore. Give up that one. Okay. Then starts with first Vajra point. First Vajra point is Buddha, right? Buddha, yeah. Now I'll try to explain the Buddha. Before that, I wanted to explain to you something my own way. I don't know if it will be it's a good idea or it will be helpful or not. But anyway, Vajra. So Vajra, this is Buddha nature, right? Vajra. Anyway, that's your nature. Your nature, your Buddha nature. You have Buddha nature. You have, actually cannot say actually have. Your nature. You have means something not you, right? Something not you, then you possess, you own it, then you say you have. But you cannot say you have, right? You have you, cannot say like that, because you are the you, right? No, just kidding. So don't think about that, that's wasting time. Buddha nature, you can say, we usually say we have Buddha nature. But the only I'm saying is, when we say we have Buddha nature, means our true nature is Buddha nature. We are not saying something we possess. Like I have a book. It means then a book is not me, but I have. But the Buddha nature is not something like possess something. But our own true nature is Buddha nature. Oh, okay. So that since we have a Buddha nature, my true nature is actually enlightenment nature. That's the reason I can achieve enlightenment. If you don't have a Buddha nature, then it's hopeless. You cannot achieve Buddhahood. The example is same like the place where gold. Indonesia lots of gold, right? Some places areas there's lots of gold mining, right? If there is no gold, then it doesn't matter what kind of mining company, strong company you bring, they will never find gold. Then mining will be business, the project will be failed, and only actually no use to do that mining thing, gold mining. But if there is gold, then you can make a gold mining project, right? Similar like that. In milk is susu, yeah. Susu, you see, you cannot see butter, it's just susu, yeah. But there is butter in essence of nature, like very essence of milk is butter, There is butter from beginning, yeah. But then you put in the process, then you can find the butter. But if you water, try to find the butter in the water, that is useless. Then you put in a process doesn't matter how long you or how much effort you make, you will never ever will be able to find butter in the water, because there's no, from beginning there's no butter there. But in milk, then if you don't put it in a process, then the milk itself will not become butter. But the butter is put in process, then butter comes out. So similar like that. So we have you have Buddha nature, or your true nature is Buddha nature, enlightenment nature, that. And then that's why if you practice Dharma, what is Dharma? Later we have to learn that, right? Practice Dharma. Later we will be talking about what is Dharma. Practice Dharma, then you become, you will find your Dhammakaya. Dhammakaya is the purified part of the. When, for example, in milk, butter is in milk and butter is not separated, right? That time this butter we call Buddha nature, for example. And then when butter is separated from milk is removed. Now it's pure butter only. Then that butter is we call Dhammakaya. Similar like that, when your true nature, your Buddha nature is right now as an ordinary person, because it's defilements, you cannot defilement with defilement, then it's called Buddha nature. And when it's become free from all the klesha and obscuration, defilement, then it's called Dhammakaya. Then this when it's not, it is not purified, it's called Buddha nature, right? When it's purified, it's called Dhammakaya. When it is on a between process, little bit purified, not totally purified, that time it's called Dharma and Sangha. It's all about yourself, yeah. Don't think too far. Just think of yourself. I think it's easier to understand. If you right now, I don't know, some of you already maybe Bodhisattva, then have to consider Dharma and Sangha, yeah. But let's assume you're ordinary person, yeah. Ordinary person. Then right now you have Buddha nature, and then you're not purified or ordinary person. then you practice Dhamma, follow Shakyamuni Buddha and practice those Dhamma practices, and then you gain some wisdom, understanding. Then yourself as or your that wisdom realization is the Dhamma, and also that's why you have Dhamma realization. Then yourself is following the category of Asanga. You become Bodhisattva. Maybe you achieved the first Bhumi, and then you become true Arya Sangha, then Sangha. Then after that, you achieve first Bhumi, second Bhumi, like 10th Bhumi, and then after that you become fully enlightenment, fully enlightenment. Then you achieve Dhammakaya. That time is Dhammakaya. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 3 jewels today. 3 jewels. 3 jewels. First is Buddha. Buddha. When we usually when we say Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, 3 jewels, I think usually when we say it, we imagine Buddha is Buddha, either Shakyamuni Buddha, historical Buddha, or some other Buddhas that enlightened beings are there. And then Dhamma is something they taught, these books, right? And then Sangha are the monks and nuns. So that this Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, they help us to happier life, and then a better rebirth, and then also free from samsara. Something like that, right? You agree, right? We understand Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha usually. But here in Uttaratantra taught that is okay. That is generally Uttaratantra. Not saying that is something that Uttaratantra is not rejecting that. That is a general first level of understanding. But here goes deeper. Is Uttaratantra and says Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha is our goal to obtain. Your goal actually is a goal to obtain, not something that outside only as like a protection is outside there. But Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha is your goal to obtain. That you want to achieve Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Okay, so how we obtain and why we have to obtain or achieve Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, or how we can achieve Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. I think then it explains each of them. Let's just go through the text. Is first it is first Buddha. Yeah? Buddha first stanza is as Maitreya Buddha writes this as a homage to Buddha, kind of like a pricing, admire, homage kind of a verse, but at the same time also explains what means Buddha. First stanza. And if that first stanza is not that clear, then no need to worry. Yeah? Then the second stanza kind of explains what means the meaning of when you read the second stanza, then you understand the first stanza. And even that is not that clear, then the third stanza explains even more clear. So no need to worry much. But all this 1, 2, 3 or 4 stanzas that explains Buddha. But here I'm going to try to make a breakdown as the text itself mentioned. Buddha explains in there's two points, 2 points or 6 points or 8 points, yeah, 2, 6, 8. if two, what is Buddha? In 2 points we explain. Buddha is someone achieved two benefits: benefiting oneself and benefiting others. Benefiting oneself means Buddha liberated oneself totally liberated and achieved lasting happiness and the highest realization, and he realized he is on true nature, Buddha nature, become Dhammakaya, right? Dhammakaya is realized, clear light mind is realized, and then there is no ignorance at all. So that realization then lead him to have lasting happiness. He never ever have any kind of suffering. So as benefits oneself, benefits oneself, and then he at the same time he can free other sentient beings from both suffering and then cause of suffering, karma and klesha, right? What is the cause of suffering? Cause of suffering, karma and klesha. Yeah. So suffering and the cause of suffering, and he can liberate other sentient beings. Only Buddha can do that. Nobody can do. Nobody else can do that. So the Buddha achieved two benefits: benefit of oneself, benefit of others. Two benefits. Yeah. Okay. So the first one, being benefit of oneself, has three kind of qualities. Three qualities. So second one, three qualities together become six. Six things. First one is Buddha. So Buddha is being. On page 103 it says being uncreated and present, spontaneously present, not a realization due to extraneous conditions. What means Buddha is when when you become a Buddha. Right now our life depends on conditions, right? We depend on so many conditions, causes and conditions, so all composed all different together things, many elements, food, including atmosphere and so many things then come together, and then become our life. Our life is very dependent on composite thing. So it's impermanent and become impermanent and become so it's called independent duje. And Buddha is dumaji means Buddha. When you become a Buddha, then nature, the Dhammakaya, Buddha Dhammakaya, that is not something created, not something that rely on cause and conditions. If something that rely on cause and conditions, then it doesn't last very long. Whenever cause and conditions exhausted, then it's become changed into something else, But Buddha Dhammakaya is not depending on cause and condition, and not something composite, not something is created, not created. Because see, that's why it's a Vajra, right? When you become Buddha, your Buddha nature is actually it's the sun in the sky, right? Today rain, we got lots of rain, cannot see sun, right? But the sun is because cloud, we cannot see sun. But when the cloud is removed, then we can see sun, right? When the cloud is there, we cannot see sun, right? Do you think there's anything changed in the sun with the cloud or without cloud? No. Sun is always the sun, right? Only cloud because we cannot see the cloud. But cloud is not part of sun. Yeah. Sun is not the cloud is not part of sun. So similar like our obscuration, that ignorance we have right now is called obscuration, that blind us to see our own true nature, Buddha nature. We don't see, but our Buddha true nature is there. So when our ignorance is removed, like a cloud is removed, then our Buddha nature, like sun, is vivid, that we realize. Then that is called achieve Buddhahood. But then the sun is not something newly created, similarly. So Buddha nature is not created. So Buddha, when we achieve Buddha, then we just realize the Buddha nature, but not something that newly created, not something that you buy or you obtain, or something that is somebody give or somebody created for you. Then it's not worth, because it's depending on cause and the conditions, and then it doesn't last really long as well. Then it's not trustworthy. But the Buddha is that is what it means in the first one, uncreated, and the second one is spontaneously present. Buddha is generally spontaneous. Spontaneous. Spontaneous is something that, for example, Buddha benefit, help us, then also spontaneous. Like sun give light to on earth everyone, like spontaneously. Similar, like Buddha's activities benefiting other sentient beings is spontaneous. Today I went to someone as a prayer for someone funeral, and then I thought it's funny because I was trying my best to really focus on the person, and then I was praying at the Jainasi Avalokiteshvara for praying, and then suddenly I was thinking, like, just doing something, trying to help somebody, just one person, requires so much effort, and how I can do, I can help for so many people. Just a little bit of a help for somebody, one person requires so much effort. I was thinking, and so it's not like that. If Buddha had to do like one by one plan with the effort to help one by one, then it will not be, I think it will not be possible, it's not effective. But when Buddha's activities are spontaneous, and then in that sense also spontaneous. Anyway, spontaneous also, the meaning is, you can read in, I think it's something different way also explained. Since it has the quality of being spontaneously present, and so on. Then not realized due to extra. Buddha is, when you become Buddha, means you realize this Buddha wisdom, right? That is not something from other factor, but it has to be your own realization, realized. So these three, and then this the first three, and then after that is okay. Hopefully, back there, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Huh? Last time from Jakarta, they said they cannot hear me. They said they told me I should speak louder. Yeah. I thought it's maybe I keep this far, so trying to keep closer. I cannot speak louder because this is all I got. That's my mother gave me. This is not spontaneous, yeah. It's
That is your nature.
huh?
Your nature.
It's not my nature. No. If this is my nature for now, yeah, for temporary nature, not part of my Buddha nature. No. So Buddha is the one who achieved, one who realized Buddha nature, or clear light mind, the Dhammakaya. Yeah, that Dhammakaya has no beginning, no middle, no end. If it has a beginning, then it has to have an end, right? Or it has a middle, then so anyway, this if it has an end, then it's not a lasting happiness. Somehow it becomes an end. But the Buddha, when if we achieve Buddha, then it's a lasting happiness. Then it's forever, then liberated from suffering. And this doesn't has Buddha has no beginning, no end, no middle. That's why it is uncreated. It doesn't rely on other conditions, other factors. That's one thing. Then Buddha's Dhammakaya is then spontaneous. Right now we have some happiness, right? Our happiness is come from effort. A little bit of happiness, how much effort we have to have. Yeah? So much, go through so much suffering and effort. Finally, a little bit, few minutes happiness. And even a few minutes that happiness is still with mixed with so much disappointment and unsatisfactoriness, not satisfied. And then we actually some happiness. Then we feel very upset. We wanted to destroy the happiness. Immediately we get some happiness and we want to destroy. We are very capable of destroying our happiness. Everybody, I think everybody experiences in their life, right? Wants to do that. If you analyze. But anyway, we have a little bit of happiness, comes with so much effort. But here, Buddha Dhammakaya, peaceful state of Dhammakaya is achieved. That is spontaneous. After that, peace and happiness and the realization, all that is spontaneous, not coming from effort. And it says, and then that's why it's called spontaneous. Yeah. So then Buddha is self-realized, not somebody else help or somebody else teach, like a concept, like if how to read A, B, C, D, like somebody else teach, right? Otherwise, we didn't come up with self-realizing that. But that is somebody else. But you realize that is because that is only word and intellectual kind of understanding like that. But the Buddha is realization is not intellectual understanding. It's not a word. It's not a concept. It's real. There's a true realization. Then come through by our oneself meditate, and then the defilements. When the obscuration is removed, then that is a realization. Realizations arise. So that is not somebody else's factor. So these three together then become Buddha's wisdom, enlightenment wisdom. Yeah. So Buddha has this enlightenment wisdom, and that's why he can teach us, he can lead us, he can liberate us. If he doesn't have this enlightenment wisdom, then it cannot. Same like me, I don't have enlightenment, this wisdom, so cannot do anything. Then even I have some compassion, sometimes I have very strong compassion to many sentient beings. Then I cannot do anything. Just only Still having compassion is good, but they really cannot do much, right? But the Buddha has this enlightenment wisdom, so they can liberate sentient beings from suffering. That is here they translated knowledge. Knowledge is referring to the wisdom. Yeah, you see this. We are on page 17. Yeah, 117. No, not there. Where? Vajradhan. 113. Wisdom, knowledge. Buddha has knowledge, wisdom, and then another thing is Buddha. And Buddha has unconditional compassion towards all sentient beings. Unconditional compassion. Yeah. If Buddha has only realization, only wisdom, then it has no compassion. Also, then will not be reliable. Our protector. Yeah, because only wisdom, no compassion, then we cannot also. Buddha will not help us. We cannot trust us. No compassion. Has the wisdom but no compassion. Yeah. But Buddha has wisdom and then Buddha has compassion. Wisdom here is discriminating wisdom. Here wisdom is referring to enlightenment mind. Buddha himself is enlightened and he has this enlightenment realization. That's the first thing. So that's why he can help us. And then the second thing is he has unconditional love and compassion towards all sentient beings. And then that is third thing. Second thing, yeah. First is wisdom and is compassion. And then if Buddha has only realization and compassion, then if no ability, there's power, ability, then also cannot help. But then the third one is Buddha has power or ability, I think here translated, ability to remove people's karma, klesha and suffering. So this karma and klesha is a cause of suffering, right? And suffering is the suffering result of klesha and karma. All that Buddha has ability to help people to remove these things. And so these are the three points that Buddha benefit others. Yeah, first 3 points. First, what is it? The Buddha has 2 points, right? Benefiting oneself, benefiting others. Yeah, benefiting oneself has 3 points. Yeah. What are they?
Uncreated?
Yeah, uncreated, spontaneous. Spontaneous, present, and self-realized. Not Buddha is not realized because of somebody else or somebody else's help or something. Yeah. So these 3, right? And then wisdom, enlightenment, wisdom, compassion, and ability. These are the 3 for other benefits. So when you have all these 6, when you become a Buddha, then you have these 6 qualities. Then when 6, then plus, before there's self-benefiting and other benefiting, we plus then become 8. But this 2 is actually already included in 6 as well. Yeah. So then that is briefly that is Buddha here explains. Buddha. Would you like to read that in Indonesian, this is just root text. I think Erica translated, right?
They can read it.
Huh? Then Buddha part, these three is, or maybe, okay, we saved the time, so let's try Buddha part. Let's try to read about Dharma.
Kita baca yang Dharma.
Dharma, what is the second stanza in Dharma? How do you translate it in Indonesian? Inconceivable. What do you say? Huh? Oh, it's page 106. Inconceivable. Dharma means what is Dharma? Then Dharma also. Dharma we can put in two categories. Dharma is two categories: path and cessation. Four noble truth, right? Buddha taught Four Noble Truth. One is a path, one is cessation. I mean the third and the fourth noble truth, path and cessation. Cessation is Dharma. Okay, here, what Dharma means exactly? Actually, what Dharma means is Dharma is when your Buddha nature, obscurations a little bit thinner, removed, yeah, and then removed, then there's a process of become a little bit more clear. Then that process is called Dharma. Or in other words, your wisdom. When you are on the way, on the path, that wisdom, understanding, deeper and deeper understanding of about your Buddha nature, or about what things Buddha taught, right? The knows of emptiness and Buddha nature, and or realization through meditation and practice. Anyway, but Dharma is the wisdom, the realization, wisdom. Wisdom is what do you call wisdom? Is jhana, shirap. Prajna, maybe. Yeah, the wisdom. Anyway, Dharma is the mind that you're on the way, that the mind is more and more purified, and the wisdom and the compassion, all that is greater and greater developed. That part that's called Dharma. Yeah. And then when you achieve the final peaceful state of nirvana, that cessation, become free from all the suffering, cessation part, that is a part of that is a peaceful state of mind, that wisdom part, that is cessation, yeah. And then also path is then path in Bodhisattva's path is like a 5 path and the 10 stages, all that levels of improvement of our training, mind training, is called Dharma. That is Dharma. So Dharma is yourself. Then when you have these Dharma levels, then your yourself is Sangha. Then Sangha can be considered Sangha. So anyway, here is talking about the Dharma. That Dharma is true, you know. Some part belongs to cessation, some part belongs to path and cessation. Yeah. And so first one, cessation, really kind of realization. Your Dharma, when you realize about Buddha nature, your clear light mind, your own mind, clear light mind, ultimate mind, you realize that is cannot be other intellectually cannot be analyzed or cannot be introduced by intellectual, and but through the words and through other means. So that's why it's called inconceivable. And then next one is what? Inconceivable. And free from the two veils. Then that Dharma, when you have Dharma mind, wisdom, then it's free from karma and klesha. No karma, no klesha. Free. That is two veils, karma and klesha. And then free from thought. Thought means inappropriate kind of thinking. All that klesha thinking, right? All that inappropriate kind of the confused thinking, also ceased, no more there, free from. All these three, freedom is aspect of cessation, cessation aspect. Then being pure, then your mind is become very pure and clear about, like sun. Does the sun has darkness? Dark? No, the sun doesn't need our torchlight to, oh, it's so dark. Can you borrow? Can you borrow me your iPhone? Torch, because sun cannot see sun's face. That is not possible, right? Sun is always clear. Illuminating itself. Yeah. So it's when your mind, Dharma mind, Dharma wisdom, illuminates itself. So pure, pure and clear. I think pure. One of them is pure and clear is then clear about others also. Not only oneself's mind illuminating, but then it's it's clear about all other phenomena as well. Not confused, not ignorant, So clear about others also. Dharma mind, pure, clear, and playing the part of an antidote. Then antidote, same like sun. Sun illuminates itself, and the sun illuminates others also. In the daytime, we don't need a torchlight, right? Because of sun. And then sun becomes an antidote of darkness, right? So here, this our Dharma mind become antidote of klesha and the karma, antidote. So these three belong to category of path. So path and cessation, all these six together is then this is the Dharma with its features of the two truths, or actually two truths. Okay. And once the own mind is clear, clarity of seeing true nature of one's own mind clear, right? But at the same time also see other phenomena. Okay, another way to explain the Dhamma is when you practice, you do all this, practicing 6 paramitas and so on, meditation. Then sometimes you realize something is inconceivable. You realize, you see something in your mind that is yourself cannot describe. And you realize that this is impossible. Somebody describe to me to make me realize, make me to realize this. This is something that you practice, meditate, and through the meditation, finally, almost like a baby seeing in money house. You bring a baby, you see in money house, baby cannot describe. Can see everything vivid, but cannot describe like that. So you see your true nature of mind is so incredible, something that is actually has been there all the time with you but you totally you become you were like blind, and now you just realize it's something that is incredible. So that is something like a sami in that is what's it inconceivable, and then that your mind that realize that one is has no klesha, then free of klesha. There's all this klesha cannot active there. Klesha, no karma. Yeah. No klesha, no karma. This is the second thing. It's also second thing he says. Yeah. Two free from two veils. Yeah. Then no thought. No thought means that time is inappropriate thought. Inappropriate thought is for some kind of like attitude. Inappropriate, wrong kind of attitude. You know. The not attitude. I think it's thought. Anyway, this useless thoughts. All that is sees that doesn't work, doesn't exist there. So these three, when you have a really solidly kind of these three is achieved, then this is a kind of part of a quality of a cessation, yeah, cessation. That's a result, But then this is a result category. That's why we put in a cessation category, cessation, yeah. And then, but before that, in order to have that, then we have through the meditation and the other Dharma practice, our mind is clear. We see our own true nature of mind quite clear, through meditation and through also accumulation, merit, compassion, and all that helps to see our own mind clear. Then one's mind is Buddha nature, Dhammacaya is referring to one's own mind, right? Somehow through the clear, and they become more and more clear and clear. At the same time, then we see others, generally all other phenomena, and also others' mind, also nature of others' mind. Also we can understand clear, clear. One's mind understand, then we can others' nature of other. When you go to Indonesia, you have bamboo forest, right? Bamboo. Lots of bamboo forest. No more, Medan all is palm oil. All the beautiful bamboo forest cut down and then planted palm oil. It is so sad. Bamboo. When you go to bamboo forest, and then you cut one bamboo, right? And then inside is empty, right? And then you realize that all bamboo is the same. Inside is empty. You don't have to cut each bamboo, to check inside is empty. Just to see one bamboo inside is empty, then all the others are same. And similar like that, you realize your own true nature of mind, what it is. All other people has the same quality, same nature. But of course they don't realize by themselves, but still the same. Yeah, that's why Buddha sees. Buddha, when awakened, enlightened, then sees his own true nature, Dhammacaya, and then he's awakened, free from samsara. He sees that same nature in all of us. Yeah, same like you cut one bamboo, then you know all other bamboos has the same quality. But then, of course, we don't realize. That's why we stuck in samsara. Similar like that, you see others also clear, and then this Dharma, the meditation and other Dharma practice become antidote to three poisons, like as ignorance, attachment, and anger, or something like this. Anyway, klesha become antidote to klesha, right? So this pure, clear, and become antidote. These three is the causal category. So that's why we call it it's path. And so this become a path and result. Then path and cessation. These six are the So points or the qualities. What is Dharma? Then that is Dharma explained in 6 points. A few days ago, Henley asked me, why people, what do you say, why people stuck in samsara? Why people so difficult to become free from samsara, right? Yeah. So I think it's, I was lazy to say something. Today try to say it. I think we can put like this way also. Why people so difficult to become free from samsara? Because we have no motivation, no intention to become free from samsara, and then no intention, no action, right? No action, no result. So we just stay there. Sometimes only we talk, samsara, like that. And then I want to become free from samsara, but that is only not sincere. We just talk like that. But because we have no sincere intention, because we really don't know, we don't have motivation. Yeah. Why? So here, if we understand this Buddha nature, this philosophy, understand that, then the first thing is we gain really deep kind of confidence and motivation. We can see it's not only belief, but we kind of logically can understand how we can become free from samsara, how we can achieve Buddhahood, why it's important. We gain sincere like motivation, intention. Yeah, and that understanding is the same like where our Buddha nature is a treasure, is given like treasure. We are like a poor man, starving, and the Buddha nature is a treasure under our house. There is a poor man, starving, so poor, but beneath of his house, is a treasure buried, but doesn't know. There is no intention to get this treasure, because he doesn't believe, he have no idea, he don't know. Maybe only, like that. So if he get the address or how to, maybe treasure, how to get the treasure, some kind of instruction, and then with that instruction, and then he follow the instruction and get the treasure. And so that is similar like for us, this sutra teaching is like address or instruction to get that treasure. But the treasure is not created by anybody else, not created by even Buddha, but the treasure is already within ourselves, our own Buddha nature. So right now we already, when we have this sutra studying like that, then finish this study, then it's like we get the instruction, address, where to find the treasure. But after that, we will find the treasure or not, is still we have to take the action, right? Like that. Okay. You can ask, what is Buddha? I will begin again on the 6 points.
Rinpoche mengatakan ya, Bapak Ibu boleh bertanya apa itu Buddha. Beliau akan menjelaskan ulang dari awal 6 poin yang tadi.
Then you go back at the 12 o'clock.
Kita pulang jam 12.
Another 12.
Stay here.
Yeah, I have a question. Really? You can ask.
Kalau ada pertanyaan ya, boleh ditanya.
Otherwise, anyway, try to read If you have time, read. Then you can read from where? From last time page 7. 108. Now you can read from 108 to until Sangha. Sangha finish and where? I realized 4 Vajra points. Until page 117, until 4th Vajra point, the element. That one no need to read it. Until here, this 117 is the end of the last page that explains 3 jewels. And then very, very interesting subjects coming, that is element. The 4th Vajra point, the element. Yeah, the element will be then will be very interesting subject.
Jadi silakan dibaca dari halaman 108 yaitu Vajra poin yang ketiga yaitu Sangha sampai halaman 117 ya. Jadi yang bagian bawah ya Vajra poin yang keempat elemen itu tidak perlu sampai bagian atasnya saja. Baca. Kalau tidak ngerti boleh baca yang terjemahan masih di sini kan. Rangkumannya di situ.
Okay, so have question or not? No question. Wow. Everybody's reached to cessation. With that, no path but the cessation. Oh. Skip the end. Dharma, the cessation Dharma is achieved now. So okay, then do the dedication, yeah.
Baik, jika tidak ada pertanyaan kita melakukan doa dedikasi halaman 64-65.
Giwa di yudura sege jawa dujuni doa sija maluba tei sala gopasho chadu sejo rinpoche mage panan geryuji jebanyang bame bayang Kwame kondu perwaso sunagri tam seji bani tonenye vedanam panjene kedana sivalang trupai sibe sole Okay, then finish for today, and then you have a good rest and one baca.
One